Hi, hello, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the studio. And welcome to the 5th prompt of Dephemerember 2024. So it's the 9th of December and the prompt is journaling card and beloved visitor. Now I don't know why it was, but as soon as I read this prompt, I thought back to my love of Bridgerton, which I'm sure there are 1 or 2 fans out there as well. I can't be alone. And I thought about how back in the day, when you went and visited someone, if they weren't home, you would leave like a calling card. And I thought, there's my idea. That's what I was going to do for the beloved visitor. And I would use those calling cards as a journal card. But the question was how to store them in my journal. And so I've come up with an idea that's kind of based on that, but I know if you want to look at it historically, I'm jumping eras, but tough. I'm doing this prompt for me, and that's where we're going. So, what are we starting with? We're starting with some scraps of craft cardstock. I'm going to cut this up. Now I need a couple of pieces. I'll put that over there. I don't think I need both of them. And we want this, and hopefully that's going to be long enough. I've got my sort of templates here. I need it 5 inches by 2.5. And this is in centimetres. Okay. So maybe not. So that's a fail on the first day of trying to use you. Alright, 5 inches. So I think if I do length this way, because that's more than 5 inches, yep. So we want this to be 2.5. 2.5. Done. And then we need a second piece that is a 1.5. Right. So, Paula, you're going small for a change. This is not like you at all. Right. One thing I dislike about trying to line things up on this is that when you've only got a short amount on here, it's not as easy to line it up, but there we go, that'll do. It's 1.5. I mean, it doesn't need to be exact. Near enough is good enough. So, and 5 inches long this one. So we're going to 5. Well, that's that one. And this one needs to be 4. Nice. Done. That is, I think, all we need. Okay, so we've got our 2 bits. 5 by 2.5 and 4 by 1.5. So what I'm going to do now is I want to round the corners of these, but I want to do it a little bit more fancy than just a normal corner rounder. So I'm using this We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm using this punch here. So corners are all rounded on both bits. Right, so what we need to do now is we're going to put that one aside for now. In here we're going to cut a hole. So we'll do all our measurements on the bad side. And ruler, what I want to do is measure this and find, first of all, 1/2 inch from either side. I find it easier because there's just too many lines down there. My poor metric brain struggles sometimes. So that's 1/2 inch. And then 1/2 inch from this side. And I'm just going to draw these two lines. Yeah, sorry, they're a little bit light. You may not be able to see them. But hopefully that's better. Hopefully you can see that now. Yep. And where are we here? There. And then down here we want this to be about, it's got to be towards one side more than the other. So where are we? We're at 2.5. So if we do this at, I think the 1 inch mark, so where's our line? There. So we want 1 inch, and on this line we want 1 inch. Right, so we've got our 2 lines there, and we'll just cross them. Right, so we've got like an I shape or an H shape, a very short, fat H shape. So what I'm going to do now is I need my hole punch, and I'm going to use the small hole on the crocodile. So that is the 1/8 hole. And I'm going to center, oops, I need to move this down a wee bit. So I'm going to center the hole over the X. I'm going to use my metal ruler because it is metal, so I can use that as a cutting guide. And that's why I've got my cutting mat underneath. I've got a sharp blade in my knife, and I am lining up my ruler with the top of the 2 holes, and I'm going to cut from one hole hard against the ruler to the other hole. There we go. Right, so now that is almost perfectly cut. I'm happy with it. So we've now got our slot there for what we want. So now, I don't know if you've guessed this or not, but this is going to go in here, and this is going to be like a faux mail slot. Alright, now comes the exciting bit. So what I've done is now ahead of time I have die cut some letters just because I knew it would be quicker, and because I can't fit, oh, I don't need that anymore. I can't, but then you don't know if you can see. I can't fit my die cut machine on my table, sorry. So we've got mail, M-A-I-L, out of here. And I've got a few extra odd letters as well. So what I want to do is on this bit, which is going to be the flap, so you would effectively put the mail through the slot here, we're going to stick these letters. Okay, I have very gently polished the foil out, and it looks like I have got enough. So if I fit this one onto there, I just need to be careful with that tear. So I might need to sort of rearrange it slightly. And this one should fit in here, on here. And again, I've got a couple of little wee tears, but that's not too bad considering how wrinkly it was. So I want to get it glued down, and then we can smooth it some more once it's actually attached to something firmer, or at least I hope that's how the plan goes. So I'm just contemplating which one I want to try first. Go for this one, and then we'll go back to that one. Not that you can see it with the glare from the lights, but these are now done. So we've got our slit in there and our mail. So what I'm going to do now is I just want to distress it a little bit. This is probably my least favourite action in all of crafting, and that is of daubing, or like stenciling, this dotting thing. It annoys me. Is it the same for anyone else, or am I alone in my boat on this one? Right, now we need to let this dry a little bit. So we want one of these just to try. Yep. And I'm just very lightly kind of rubbing my finger over the surface. because I don't want to pick up too much. I want it to have a slightly dirty, grungy, hasn't been polished in a while look. Right, okay, so now I'm just going to put the walnut stain over the top. Right, nice. Messy, but nice. I might try, whoops, distressing ground espresso over the top. But if that doesn't, just on like the edges. Oh, yep, no, it's going well. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but when has that ever fazed me? So what I'm going to do is kind of lift this apart, and I want to glue along the inside of the top and also the inside of the flap. So, right, two kind of, well, it's about a 1/4 of an inch area that I'm covering. Alright, so here we go. Last chance to get them the right height. And now we're stuck down. That's it, we're stuck for good. I'm just kind of pressing and holding. We've got a wee bit of glue coming out there. That's okay. Yep, that looks cool. Now it is warping a wee bit, but that's okay. When it gets onto the page, I think that is going to disappear. Right, so we're done with those. We will need that, but what I was just thinking was maybe we need some brads in the corner. Awesome. That looks cool. I love it. So now we've got to find a page for it to go on. I just need I still need to hold it down just a little bit. Now, I'm going to do something that I wouldn't recommend, or recommend that you do this before you adhere it down, but as I didn't think about it until after I'd adhered it down, you know, do as I say, not as I do. So we'll move that out of the way because I don't want that getting everywhere. Right. So what I've got is a Faber-Castell Pit pen, and it's a big brush in Nougat, which is like, I think, my favourite colour, or one of them in the range. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to draw along the edge and then kind of smudge it in. And just do a little bit at a time. And when it dries, the pen, this ink becomes permanent. And it's, most art journalers are probably familiar with pip pens if you've done any art journaling. And then I also want to do kind of in the shadows of these letters, just to emphasize them a bit. The only problem with that is you do tend to end up with it on your fingers. So hopefully you saw that, and more importantly you can see just the slight difference it's made. Now that we've got our letterbox, we need some calling cards to put in it. So I've got some scraps of different card stocks. They're all kind of in the white and cream, and you know, I'd call that a yellowy cream tones, just for, you know, a bit of variety. But I'm going to start off with the smallest scraps. We're going to make some, essentially what we'd call these days business cards. First thing I'd want to do is corner round it. Try this one here. I want to see if I can, yep. I've been having trouble with this punch, but I think the answer is I need to turn it upside down so I can see that I'm putting the paper in the right place. Because look at that, perfect punch every time. See, now doesn't that look pretty? Right, so even just that little wee corner decoration just makes it look that much more posh. What I've got is I've got this frame stamp here, which I think I got it in a second-hand bundle. I don't know if I bought them online or I won it in an auction, but it's got on here 1997 Clear Long, the New Zealand Stamp Art Company. So it's been around a while. So, well, that'll fit on there quite nicely. Now, I think I'm going to try Archive a Link and Potting Mix. I only have these in a little size, which is why I keep forgetting about them. Because they're not in my normal, like, filing system. So we want to not stamp all over ourselves. Hopefully I've got this straight, but it's hard to see when I'm not looking down on it. And it's down quite a bit lower. I could have gone up quite a bit higher if I'd actually realised that that's where that was. Oh well, it's still quite nice. It's a lovely stamp, isn't it? Actually, I should just show you, and then you can make up your own minds. Lovely. Very pretty. So, okay, maybe you do need to get some practice in for your placement. Might be a nice idea, Paula. But you get the idea. So then, what I thought I would like is I could either handwrite in a name, or I've got some stamps here with some names on it. So who do we have? They're all French, so it's obviously a French woman. No, there's no names on there. It's just like dates and titles and stuff. Although that might be a name, I'm not sure. Let's make up a name then. So we have, and we've got lines on here. It should fit, I hope. And let's put it in the middle. There we go. So we have the business card of one of our favourite guests. And that could, or should read perhaps instead of Madame, Mademoiselle. And then it could be the Modiste from Bridgerton. I had to think what her title was. Alright, so put those away before we forget. But now, so if we wanted to sort of bump it up a little, we could just put, and I think I've stamped on the smooth side of this too, because I wasn't paying attention. Right, there. That. Now, what we could also do is, where are we? If I take that, I think that is candied apple. So we're going to doesn't that look pretty? Just by putting like a red over the top of that brown, it just makes it look a little bit sexier. Just makes it stand out a little bit more. Alright, what else have we got? Not really a lot there, but I do have these stamps, which I thought would be perfect for that Victoriana kind of atmosphere. Okay, so here we are. We've got these two. So let's try that one, seeing as that's the one I measured. Okay, now do we want to use a pretty colour? Why not? So now it might not be what they used back then. In fact, you know, colours may not have been available, but it's my journal. I can do what I want. Although, yeah, garden patina just sounds nice, doesn't it? Alright, so here we go. Eyeballing it. Press and hold. Now, not quite as nice because it's on the textured side. So definitely I think that needs to be on the smooth side. So I'm going to stamp on the other side. Just so that, because I want to know what it looks like. And I mean, it's no biggie for me. I mean, realistically, it's going to stay tucked under, so it doesn't matter if I've made a boo-boo and done it on the other side. That's how we learn. Yep, that looks much better. So we went from that to that. Much nicer. We want 3 or 4 for in our letterbox because, you know, it's been a busy morning. We've had a lot of our favourite people visit us and we were just out strolling along the promenade or whatever it was. That one there looks like it's, oh no, I like that one. But, oh, it's a tough decision. These are all nice, to be honest. But we're going with this one. And what have we got? I think that magenta colour. Magenta hue. Yes. Now, we'll go on the smooth side this time. And, ooh, that's pretty. I like that a lot. What else have we got? Yeah, so I just pulled out a whole lot of these random, like these are actually fussy cut cardboard, but the rest are all a little wee bottle of perfume, but no, I don't think so. The rest are all like washi or stickers. I mean, you could just about decorate these with anything. So that's one there. So what if I then went to one of these and said, okay, well, let's stick a stamp on it as well. And because that's the other thing I was thinking about as I was kind of fishing out these flower things, is that back in the day, and back in this era, flowers had different meanings, and it was, you know, messages were often sent via the flowers, you know, that were sent between couples, or whether they were like hidden lovers or something like that. So I mean, maybe the flowers that you put on your calling card, that might have been an extra message to whoever you were going to call upon. So anyway, we've got a huge selection of business cards, sorry, calling cards. Lord, I feel like I should now punch those. Lady Catherine Bridgerton has to have the Bridgerton corner, as it's now going to be called. Okay, so that didn't cut well because we had the sticker on there. Bring the sticker, peel the sticker off. Yes, okay, right. So sticker off, Lady Catherine, sorry. Of Hastings, yep, you're a Bridgerton as well, so. Right, so now we have all our calling cards. So we have our mailbox, and we are going to just slide in the cards from all of our, is it, beloved visitors. So I mean, this is basically what this was a tuck. Okay, there's maybe too many business cards, Paula. I think you might have to take some out, but you get the gist. I love it. All we need to do now is the date stamp for the 9th. Now, I think we're going to go down the bottom here. And I think we need something underneath it. Nice. That's lovely and crisp. Okay, so there we go. We have had all our visitors. I really enjoyed this. I loved making the mailbox, but I also had fun making all of our calling cards. Even though they are really simple, I know that. For me, it was more about making the tuck spot and the idea and the concept behind it going together. We had fun and enjoyed this, and maybe you got some ideas to try, but I'll see you back in the studio for the next prompt tomorrow. Bye for now.